So what would you say makes politics at SOAS different to any other university in the UK?
I think it's the combination of really in-depth fieldwork and in-depth engagement with theory. Almost all of my colleagues do this incredible fieldwork in the Middle East, in Africa and Asia. They disappear for months, sometimes years at a time, getting to know people and places, but they're all really engaged in the big conceptual and theoretical debates. And I think a lot of UK universities do one or the other. Politics at SOAS is really unusual for doing both of them to a really serious level of depth.
What would you say is like your favourite city or like country to visit?
I think I'd have to say Rwanda. It's the country where I do most of my field work. I've been going backwards and forwards there for about 20 years now. I have a lot of friends there. My children's godparents are Rwandan. And then within Rwanda, I really love the southern part of the country. I love the villages on the Burundi borders, big lakes, banana palms everywhere. It's incredibly green, big blue skies. It has to be Rwanda.
And what's a book that you would recommend?
I think a fantastic book is Winnie and Nelson, A Portrait of a Marriage by Johnny Steinberg. It's a book about Winnie and Nelson Mandela, but an incredibly complex portrait of not just their marriage, but the politics surrounding these two really important characters. And I think given that it's 30 years since the end of apartheid, 30 years since the first democratic elections in South Africa, Steinberg's book gives us an insight into that country through these two really important characters that perhaps we haven't seen before.
And what would you say is like your favourite floor on the SOAS library?
I have to say level D because that's the Africa section, but I think all Africanists know that the best views are the South Asia section, which is level A. And so sometimes I try to pretend that I'm an Indian or a Pakistan specialist, and so I try to sneak up where the views are much better.
What would you say is like the best coffee spot like around near the area?
My favourite spot is Cafe Tropia. It's the Italian cafe in the middle of Russell Square. It's been run by the same Italian family for 50 years. Great coffee, fantastic spot in the middle of the square.
What's your favourite thing about SOAS?
I love the energy of SOAS. I love the fact that our students are so energetic and politically engaged. They're always asking us really tough questions. I also think it's because of where SOAS is located. We're right here in the centre of London. We're close to government. We're close to all the big media houses. I think we absorb all that kind of energy. So it has to be the energy of this campus that I love the most.
I love that. I agree 100%. And finally, which brings me to my favourite part. Do you have a favourite quote?
Don't think, don't hope, do, with an exclamation mark. And that's my mantra at the moment. Don't think, don't hope, do. Get the book manuscript done. And I've channeled John Kennedy 1975 to help me get this book done.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Precious.